Hi.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
Man, pretty good. I was over here having some technical difficulties and the Wi-Fi acting like it doesn't want to reach, so just got on a little later than I wanted to.
I got you. Where are you right now? It's like blue.
Atlanta.
I'm in Atlanta too. I just thought it was cool, like your room is blue, so.
Oh yeah, it's this is my Zoom room and music studio. So I got all that kind of stuff in here. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for coming. It means so much to me. I love doing this. Congrats to you for like pursuing this acting career, man. Like, this is freaking amazing. Like, it's a great career, and just more luck to you in your pursuing what you're going for. So yeah.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So well, I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I just came back from taking the test, so I'm kind of wacky. My brain is kind of tired, but
that's good. Hey, listen, my brain's always like that. Yeah.
But my first question is, how would you describe your childhood?
My childhood, man. My childhood, you know, my father passed away when I was a baby, and so my mother was a single mother, and I'd say my mother did the best job she could, and I'm always talking about my mother, but I think with my childhood, my mother was one of those parents that her parenting style was she modeled whatever she wanted you to do. I know a lot of my friends' parents just tell them to do it because they say do it, and they don't model the behavior themselves. But my mother was a great mother and role model as far as, you know, that's concerned. And I was just a really had a big imagination, you know, kind of, you know, to myself. So that's how I got into all this kind of stuff. And, you know, I was playing by myself, making stories with toys and whatever I could and all that kind of stuff. Mm.
I did that too. I had like action figures. I had like a Spider-Man or like a Venom or a Transformer, just like crazy. Even though, like, as a little kid, I like rip their heads off and like their legs, and not on purpose, but like I like bite. Like when I was little, I just bite toys, like bite head. Like I would.
Oh, you were one of those.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I had a Devastator toy from the second Transformers movie, and that toy is like $200 now, and like all the pieces are like broken because I destroyed it. So I'm kind of mad because it's like all.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Going online and seeing, oh, if you had this toy, it's now worth $5,000. I'm like, I don't have it anymore. So.
Yeah, it's like a collectible. See, I get what you. That's yeah. I've been raised by my mom too, so I know what you're talking about like that childhood of having just a mother. You know. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So what got you into acting? Like, what made you want to? I mean, I know you do more than acting, but what made you want to pursue that career choice?
I think it's something I always wanted to do, but I thought you had to have a whole lot of money to get into acting, and I thought you had to be a millionaire. And just the storytelling part of it, and I loved, you know, I had, you know, did little church plays here and there, and then when you see the reaction you get from people, that authentic reaction, whether it be a joke you tell and you make people laugh, or if it's something very emotional, and people feel that. But then I learned I could do this on a bigger scale and actually get paid to do it and make money and make a living doing it. So I think that was a part of it, and I think I really got bit by the bug. I did a movie back in 2005 when I was a teenager called ATL. I was just an extra in there, and then the director gave me a little bump up to be the nerd in the film or whatever. I'm like the one that's falling in the hallway, and then I make them fall in the skating rink. And when I saw the contract, I was like, wait, I just made that much money for falling? Like, okay, I can really do this. Like, I think I can really do this as a career. So that really sparked my interest, and I've been doing it ever since, you know.
That's awesome. Wow. Okay. What was the most difficult part about acting when you first started out?
Most difficult part? Well, I'm a real person, so I don't want to try to use euphemisms or whatever, but sometimes when you have a scene partner that's not giving you what you need back, because I'm the type of person, whatever I do, I don't care if it's low budget, small budget, whatever, I put everything I got into whatever role I'm playing. So sometimes people would not be giving back. They don't remember the lines. And me, I'm an empath, so I'm heavy on the emotions and stuff. So if I don't feel like you're really meaning what you're saying, it kind of annoys me a little bit, to be honest. But that was one of the hardest things, realizing that everybody may not be where you are on your level, or maybe not as committed as you are. So that was one of the hardest things for me.
Right. Yeah, I'm like that too. When people aren't giving when people aren't giving what you're giving, like the energies aren't like to get like
Right.
not even like in an acting thing, just like on a day-to-day life like thing.
Exactly.
Like, if you're not giving me the energy, then I don't know what to tell you, partner. I don't know. Like, if you're not, I don't. I'm. You know, if you're not in it, I'm not gonna be in it. If you're in it, hey,
Yeah.
I'm very much like that too. So I completely understand where you're coming
Right.
from.
Right.
But yeah, I never thought of it like that, because mostly when I ask people like, what's the most difficult part, they're like, oh, I guess I was nervous or learning things. That's a new one. I've never heard people be like, oh, well, when they're not giving enough, I didn't feel it, you know? Because I don't think I have like a lot of people like that who are being into emotion. But
Yeah.
so what was your first acting gig? What was it? What were you doing?
My first, I think my first one was that, I did some small stuff. At first, like film, I think that was my first doing ATL, and I remember I had to learn how to skate in like 5 days because I wanted to be a part of the film so much. It was my first time like doing extra work and, you know, just trying to figure out the whole acting world. So I don't know if I ever skated before. So I learned how to skate like in 4 or 5 days just to be a part of the movie. And it was a good thing I did, because it was a big part of, you know, what I did in that film. I'm trying to think like the lines. What was I don't know. See, I told you I do this all the time. My head is all over the place, but that was my main first one, or whatever that got me started. That was something that was interesting about that.
Okay. So I know you're also into like music. What started that?
It's crazy because this is my music room, as you'll see. It's my organ over here. This is my keyboard. That's my electric drum set. But it's just funny after, because we're in the right room for that. But music was an escape for me. It was an escape, man. My my mother married my stepfather, who was just not the best. I've lived the movie life, so my stepfather was just really rough, you know, abusive and all that kind of stuff. So music was my escape, and just put me in another world. I'll say basketball was my first love, and I would go outside and play basketball and sometimes read books. And if he would stop me from going outside, I would stay inside and I would do my music. You know, I could put headphones on and play my piano or whatever. And so it was just really that escape that allowed me to get my emotions out, which is another thing I found with acting. Because with the music, you can, well, at least with me, maybe that's because I'm an empath, but I can play my emotions out. Sometimes I would play and just cry, or you know, just my emotions would come out through the music. And it's like I said, it's the same with acting. So that's when music started for me. And I mean, I just really love music, and I still do like some of the scores of my short films. And I've played clarinet, and I've played trumpet, tuba,
me too.
Keyboard, organ, drums. I've played so many different types of instruments, but I really love music because you can just feel it. You know, I love stuff that I can connect to, and you never stop learning. The music is ongoing. You never know all of music. You never know all the theory and the things you can do.
Right. Most definitely, yeah. I'm into guitar and stuff like that. I played trumpet in my middle school band for a little bit. I didn't continue.
Okay.
I should have, but it was kind of like me and my friends were in band. I love middle school. Sorry, let me not talk about middle school.
No, you're fine.
Me and my friends, we were just like a big gang, and like we're a big group and we're in band. Then everybody like split up before high school. People went to Tennessee, to Florida, to back to New. It was a lot. So I just was like, I don't kind of feel that energy. Or they went to different schools, you know. So I just
right.
didn't. But I'm getting back into guitar. I'm writing music now. Like I do that. I get into it too, you know. So
Cool.
yeah.
I'm trying to get on guitar myself. I've always picked around with it, but I really want to try to pick it up and actually, you know, get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, guitar is fun. It's just the fretting hand, you know, because I play with.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, the fretting. It's so difficult. I mean, it's easier than it first was, because I didn't know how to play guitar. I thought you play with like your whole finger, but it's actually like the fingertip, like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta like grip on like a bear claw, and it's like, it's, I don't know,
It's
weird. So
it takes strength to take. People don't realize that. Yeah.
yeah, most definitely. So that's cool. What type of music are you into?
I'm into everything. I know that sounds crazy, but I really am. I think it was the funniest thing. I'll mention this. When I was in second grade, I was 7 years old, and I remember me and one of my friends, Mark Neal, were in love with Louis Armstrong. And it was crazy for us 7 years. Now that I think about it, I was 7. I was 7 years old, and I was in love with Louis Armstrong. And I remember recording. My friend made a tape for me. I'm showing my age a little bit. We made a little tape and put all Louis Armstrong songs on there. And so I'm really into jazz. I love old school jazz, smooth jazz. I love jazz. I love dubstep. I love everything. I just love music. There's so many emotions in music. It just depends on what I'm feeling at that time. But mainly like jazz and neo soul are my big ones. I love classical music too. Of course, gospel. I go to church, so I, definitely love that. But yeah, all types of music, man. I'm just in there.
That's cool. That's really dope. I'm kind of like that too, except for country. I don't like country, but
It's crazy. I love country too. I love it all. I find all of it. You got to find the right country.
I guess. I don't know. I'm just not a big country boy. I guess that's just my thing. I'm not a big country boy.
Hey, that's cool though.
Yeah, but I listen to a lot of my main is like I'm like you though. I do listen to like a lot of music. I like jazz. I love jazz. Oh my gosh, I love R&B, rock, rap. Those are my 4 favorite genres. I love rap, and rock. I go back and forth. Like those are my top 1. But yeah,
okay.
I love music like that too. So yeah, that's dope.
Cool.
Who's the musician you want to work with? Like somebody like it's like, oh, I would love to do something.
Oh, musician I would like to work with?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, look, I thought I had. There's so many. I
know, right?
Well, that's more on an acting basis. Let me not say him. Gosh, I mean, I don't know. I used to be really big on Chicoria. Eric Moore is one of my favorite drummers. I don't know why. It's so many. I love Eric Moore. Eric Moore's phrasing, just the way he plays drums. I'm gonna say it anyway because I respect him on so many different levels. But Jamie Foxx is he's up there for me on my Rushmore. But yeah, those guys. Big fan of Eric Moore, though. I'll say that. Yeah.
Have you released anything yet, like an EP or like a side project?
No. You know what's funny? My writing partner and I, she writes TV series and I write screenplays for feature films. But we're actually thinking about doing a project. We were just talking about it literally before I got on here with you. So we're working on some stuff. I don't even want to say yet. It's mainly most of her stuff, and I'm just doing the music for it. So that's why I really don't want to get into what it is. But I've definitely been thinking about putting some stuff out there. Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. That's cool. So you appeared a new film. It's about the Boston riot, the riots of 1917. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Houston. No, it's fine. The Houston riots of 1917 in Texas. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like, and what did you learn from that?
Well, for one, I learned about the event because I never knew about it. I never heard about it. And a lot of people, even my friends who are from Texas, their parents, their grandparents, none of them have heard about it. But one thing I could say about doing that film or that project is that when you're doing a story that's a true story and it's a real life story, whether it's film or TV, is different because you really have to put, more respect on that project. And, with other films, you can improv, you can kind of create your own characters, but you really want to pay respects to those people who live that life story. And so it's that much more pressure to portray them in an authentic way. And just like I said, show respect to who they were. And it's just one thing, I guess it's along the lines that you said what I learned, but it made me realize more so when I put myself in that situation or that portrayal of that character that we talk about a lot of tiny things we would have did if we grew up in the 60s and during Jim Crow. But when you actually put yourself in that position, you just realize how much courage and strength that these Black people had. You know, our ancestors, our grandparents, and our great grandparents. And it's like, man, you know, you feel like you're strong now. You all, you know, muscle or whatever you think you are. But those people had a strength that I don't know if we could ever reach. I mean, not that type of strength, you know, maybe physical strength, maybe some type of mental strength, but the courage that they had to go through that and to raise families through that is just something that I admire so much. And I can never, we can never repay our ancestors for the stuff they went through. That's what I can say about that. Yeah.
Most definitely. Well said. Especially with everything going on right now, I think films like that are very much needed because it's just like, there's so much going on. We got Breonna Taylor. We just got it's just like, this year has been insane. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, we got a whole pandemic going on. And we got, you know, just Black Lives Matter protests. We have people getting gunned down. And civilians getting, it's a lot. And I say we need films like that. I think it's very important. It's just a lot. So I don't think anyone's ever been through anything like this either. I mean, like, just
it's just so much, like I said, so much in front of our faces right now. And the thing about it for me is, you know, I have a lot of friends who are, you know, law enforcement, and I've also had two friends who have been killed because of police brutality. So it's so much closer to home for me. And like, you know, I'm not saying like woe is me or anything, but I know a lot of people say, oh, they know of a person or something like that. But the two people that, the friends that I had killed due to police brutality were like really close friends. They weren't just like, you know, associates or people I knew from down the street. So, and one of was, I consider like one of my best friends that I've ever had in my life. And so it's really, it really hits me hard, you know, with all this stuff going on. It's just, I knew division was in the world, but I didn't know that. It's just, I don't understand racism. It's just a foolish concept to me to hate somebody because of the color of their skin. And you have so many people that hate because of that reason. And as I was talking to somebody the other day, sometimes you go on these message boards or Facebook posts and you'll see some of the racist people saying like, oh, if you go in Black people's neighborhoods, they'll beat you down and see how much they stand for you then. And I'm like, we don't do that. That's not how we are. And it just made me realize that a lot of people have not even met a Black person. And I know to us, that may seem like a crazy concept, but there's so many people who have never met a Black person or held a conversation with a Black person. In the last 2 years, we had an event here in Atlanta called Meet a Black Person. I think it was that straightforward. I think it was called Meet a Black Person. And we're in the Atlanta metro area, and that event was full. Like it filled up so fast, and now it made me realize that a lot of people have never held a conversation with a Black person in 2020. You know, we think of that as 1950s, 1960s, but no, even today. And so their image of a Black person is only what they see on the news or on TV. And so they think it's like the 20s, like we're savages or something. They don't know anything about Black people. So, but that's why that racism has been allowed to keep going on, because people fear what they don't know.
Right.
I'm sorry, you touched on it. I can talk all day about this, so I'm
No. Like, one of the questions I'll get to is about that topic. It's just, I always end it off with talking about stuff like that, because I think it's very important to talk about it, to give your insight, and just try and help people. You know, I feel like now, like, someone said that, one of my friends in the comments said that, you know, unity is more now than ever, and it is. Like, it's crazy. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Like, it's just, I know there's been police brutality, like, since a while now. Like, come on, like, but like, it's just so in our face. Like, right now, like, people are marching. Like, it's a crazy time. Then we have the election coming up, and everyone is like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to think, man. This is gonna be an interesting time.
It is. It really is. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's just hope whatever happens is for the best. Because it needs to, like, something needs to change for real. Like, this is getting out of hand. What is I guess we can talk more about the film. How did you find out about the role? How did you find out about this film being made?
Well, it was through my agent, and I had to send in a taped audition, and I sent in one tape for one role, and I was really, really excited about it. And I was like, I think I did well on this, to talk to my friend about it. And so I saw another email with the film title in the subject line. So I got excited and realized it was my agent saying that they wanted me to audition for another role. And I was kind of upset. I was like, man, I wanted this role. And, you know, God always knows what he has for you. So I sent in the second tape to audition for the second role. And I initially booked that role. But then when I got to set, I got switched to a third role, which is the role of Lucky that I ended up with. And so I'm actually glad it worked out the way it did. You know, God always knows what he's doing. So I'm glad I ended up with the role I did. But yeah, that's how I found out about it.
That's cool. Well, how was the energy on set? How would you describe it?
Oh, the energy was dope. You know, especially if you have veterans on set like Michael T. Williamson. For those that don't know, he played Bubba in Forrest Gump. And you know, these guys. Even Trey from Empire and stuff, but Earth and Kevin Wilmot, the director, who just won an Oscar last year. And so it's kind of cool to be working on I've done TV, but working on my first film with a sizable role with someone who is an Oscar winner. You know, that was really dope. But everybody's really down to earth, and, you know, the energy was great. You know, no drama, anything like that, because a lot of people don't know that. You know, you see the film, but a lot of sets have drama, and it's crazy. But this one did not have that, so it was great energy on set. I really enjoyed myself.
That's good. That's great to hear, because I know there are stories where people like they didn't enjoy their time, or the director was there, and it's positive stories like that. That's awesome. Who did you get along with the most? Like, who did you create the strongest bond with?
It's actually between two people, Michael T. And my friend Cranston Johnson. We had actually, I think we had bumped paths on, we did an episode of Atlanta by Donald Glover. And we bumped paths on there, and then we ended up working on the 24th together. But I think Cranston and Michael T, you know, Michael T's been teaching me a lot over the last few months and stuff. And I guess you say is like kind of like one of my top industry mentors right now. But yeah, me and Michael T really clicked, and maybe me and Cranston because we're both from the Southeast. But really, two dope people that I think I'll definitely take, you know, for the rest of my life, and, you know, continue a strong relationship with them.
That's awesome to hear, man. What is one franchise you would like to work in?
Wow. Guardians of the Galaxy, probably. Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely. I'm you know, I love Marvel. I think a lot of people love Marvel. And, but for me, and I think I'm not the only one that thinks this, but James Gunn, as the writer and director, has really changed Marvel. At least for me, I know he has. And it's funny because he uses a lot of things in his films. I was like, I had a film I was writing that had similarities with the whole music thing because I'm big into music, as we talked about. And when he used it, I was like, I love you for this, but I don't like it because I wanted to do that. Now people are going to think I'm copying you. But I love the way he implemented the music in Guardians of the Galaxy, the way he writes it. You know, you keep the action, but the comedy is there. I just think James Gunn is a really just a special type of writer-director. Like, I just really love his directing and storytelling style. But I definitely want to do Guardians of the Galaxy. Definitely.
That'd be dope. That's dope. That'd be dope to see. I know he's making Suicide Squad now too. So
yeah, yes. I'm just gonna say the first one wasn't what I wanted it to be. So
I think a lot. Yeah.
I think James is going to turn it around. He's going to revive it. He's going to do his thing.
From what I've seen, it looks really good. James Gunn is a great director. I mean, I feel like he could make any franchise dope. So I mean, like, I really feel like he's about to put his special touch on the Suicide Squad.
And he's a dope person too. I mean, it's probably crazy for other people who knew it, but I can't remember for what reason. I just had a lot going on in my life at the time, and I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. You know, after it came out. But I was at a film festival that I was participating in. I think we had our short film won Best Writing or something like that. And he was one of the speakers there. And at the time, I feel embarrassed to say this, but at the time I didn't know who he was. But he was so down to earth, and we were having lunch, and he was just talking to us about his story with his brother Sean and how they grew up and how he got into storytelling and all that stuff. So just honestly, I'm an empath. I'm pretty good at reading people's energy. And I really feel like he's a dope person. He's really down to earth. I just love that about him. And to see what he does as a director, writer, it makes me respect him even more.
Wow, that's so cool. That you got to like meet him.
Yeah. I wish I would have known who he was at the time, because that would have been crazy. but it was dope. He's a dope person. He's dope.
That's so cool. Well, I hope to hear that you're in something he's made. I think maybe like a Star Wars film or something that he's making, or you know.
Yeah, something.
Something, yeah. I guess I have two more questions for you. What roles do you gravitate towards more?
I gravitate towards, I love the stuff that you really have to dig deep into, kind of like Lucky was in his 24th. I love stuff with a lot of emotional depth, you know, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody else, but I don't like just like I'm a football player, or I call them line roles, and like this kind of character, or I love stuff with heavy emotion for the fact that I feel like it's well, I'll say it this way. I like character acting, heavy emotions and character acting, because I like becoming something else. I don't want to just be Lorenzo reciting lines and collecting a paycheck. You know, some people just want to be famous, but I really love going to that level and those depths. You know, I tell people like, you know, the Antoine Fisher roles. I don't know if you've seen Radio with Cuba, you know, Gooding Jr. or Ray with Jamie Foxx, Ray Charles. I love those roles when you become something else. You know, like I said, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm establishing myself as in this industry and just creating a legacy off that. You know, the Chadwick Boseman. I mean, not saying because he just passed away, but that type of person, like, that transforms into other people. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I like. You know, I don't want to just be famous and just be like, oh, I was the love interest on blah, 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 blah. I want those meaty roles that leave an impression on people that they talk about for the next 20, 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important to have roles like that to establish like a solid legacy. Like, you just brought up Chadwick. I mean, I look at him. He was Thurgood Marshall, James Brown, the Black Panther, Jackie Robinson. Like, he like, those are roles that, even though he's like gone, rest in peace, people gonna talk about those forever. Like, they're gonna watch those movies, and I think that's really dope of you to want to have roles like that, and that you don't, the paycheck is second. Because for a lot of actors, the paycheck is first, role is second. And you can really tell when they're not giving it their all, or when they're phoning it in, or when they don't really care about the role. So I think that's really awesome of you to have that mindset, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, I think people don't think about this when they're first starting their career. And I've had people tell me I'm arrogant or whatever, but I know I'm not arrogant. It's that I want to brand myself a certain way. I don't want to just throw something on my resume to put it on social media so people are like, oh my gosh, you're in another movie. Like, oh my gosh, like, you're getting famous. You're getting more movies. Like, I've turned down so many roles because I'm like, I know I have more talent than that, and I don't want to brand myself as that, like, one-dimensional role. Like, I want people to know, like, when this guy comes on set, it doesn't matter. And then some people take this type of way, but it doesn't matter if Denzel was on set. I want them to like, oh, Lorenzo's on set. Like, okay, even Denzel got to be like, okay, Lorenzo's on set, so we gotta up the game. Like, we playing for real. Like, that's how I want to be respected in that type of way. You know, it doesn't mean I'm better than anybody or anything like that. But I want people to say, oh, if Lorenzo's on set, I know this is going to be a good project. He's going to put everything he has into it, and this is going to be a real work of art.
I don't know why people would call you arrogant or whatever they're calling you, because that's the energy you need to have. That's the respect you need to want. Like, you know, like,
I think people say it because they say you shouldn't put your name in the same category as somebody else, and that's not. I'm not saying I'm as good as them. I'm not saying that I have the same legacy that they have, but I think someone said this the other day about, hey, Jonathan Majors. Yeah, someone was saying how they kept saying it was like he's the next Denzel, and the director was like, no, he's the first Jonathan Majors. Like, stop saying he's the next this person. Like, I am the first and only Lorenzo Yearby. I'm not trying to be Denzel. I'm not trying to copy anybody's swag, anybody's type of energy. I just want to be me and the great me that God has put into me to be. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't necessarily have to be spoken in the same conversation as them, but respect me as what God's given me, the talent he's given me. I don't want to be the next anybody. I look up to Jamie Foxx a lot. I don't want to be the next Jamie Foxx. I just like what he does. He does a lot of stuff like I do. He does comedy, music, and dramatic acting, but I want to be the first Lorenzo. That's what I want to be.
What do you enjoy doing more, acting, comedy, or music?
Oh, man. I think music and acting are up there. I think it would be acting first. I think it's definitely acting first. I love to make people to be able to feel something, which is why I got into story writing and writing the screenplays. But I like to be able to transform somebody's day, whether it is through comedy or through dramatic acting. But the fact that I can act something out and make you feel something, even though it's not real, but I make you feel like it's real. I think that's the job of an actor. I always tell people that the job of an actor is to act. Is to be, not act. Like, you should really believe that I'm this person. You shouldn't be able to tell that I'm acting. And that's one thing I try to work on a lot. Even when I do my comedy, like I had this character that I did, and I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Pastor Petty, and it really was a writing exercise for me. But even with that, I think the reason why Pastor Petty was funny to people is because I made a lot of people actually think I thought I was a pastor, and I would get people laughing about it, and I would get people in the comments arguing about it, like, a pastor shouldn't be talking like this. And I was like, why? These people really think I'm a pastor. Like, I'm an actor, but they really believe it. And I think that's the job of an actor, to make people actually believe what you're giving to them.
Right. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, acting, that's something I want to get into, like voice acting or something like that. Something to get into the industry like that too. Like, I just want to do so much. Like, if you probably haven't seen my account, but if you people who know me personally know that I'm gonna do my thing. Like, I have so many goals and just so much I want to do in this industry that is gonna be crazy. So yeah, I'm trying to get where you're at, like music, acting. I just want to do that.
Hey. All I tell my friends reminded me this yesterday, and I always say that I don't want to say it, but I said something like, I don't know what it was, working out that day or something. I said, I'm gonna try, and he said, don't say it. Doesn't say you're gonna do it. You gotta say that, because when you say try, you leave this window of that it's like you don't believe in yourself. So say, I'm doing a lot of things. Say I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm trying to get where you are. I'm going to get where you are. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm going to get where they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely heard that a lot of times. Don't try, you better do it. You got to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So most definitely. And this will be my last question to you for today. And this is a pretty big one. I always do interviews off of this one. What is your current message to the world right now with everything going on? What would you say to people who are scared? What would you say to people who are looking for hope? And what would you say to people who are just like nervous and confused?
Love, unity. It's actually the common theme of all the screenplays that I write. To make people realize that it sounds cliche, and it's okay that it's cliche, but we really are in this together. And there's so much in the world that makes us think that we're each other's enemies, and it's so much division in the world when it comes to politics and race and all this kind of stuff. Like, a lot of us are on the same level, and we're fighting people on the same level as us. For lack of better words, not to be offensive, but we're all kind of like pawns. And sometimes we advocate for people who are the kings and queens who are not advocating for us. And we realize we're fighting people on the same level as us, and that's not your enemy.
Right.
Those are not people that are trying to get over on you. And race has been one common thing that's been used for generations to divide people. And as I spoke on earlier, when you have people who are in the middle of America who have never met a black person before, they're just gonna believe that we're all savages and gangsters and thugs, and it's like it's nothing like that. And like I said earlier, I constantly see that same thing saying, if you go into black neighborhoods and you're a white person, they're gonna beat you up. And I was like, that's never. I was telling my friend the other day, I think I made a Facebook status about it. Like, if anything, like we're gonna be like, white person, like let's see if they can dance. Like it's gonna be some fun, some kind of way. But you know, they have so much fear, as the term is, fear mongering. You know, just man, let's realize we're all human.
Yeah,
we're all the same. Like, just we got to stick together. And I tell people, I'm focused on my life. I'm not trying to take anything from you. You know, you got so many people that are thinking that somebody or immigrants are trying to come and take something from them, and that's not the case. Like, it's enough out here for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, one of my friends, I can't remember what country she's from, but she's like, why is there so much fighting in the United States? She's like, y'all have so much open land. Like, if you just, at least in Atlanta, if you take a drive about 2 miles, there's like trees. And if you go from Atlanta to another city, like, it's so much uninhabited land. Like, why do people feel like there's not enough to go around when there actually is? You know, granted, it takes a lot to start a city or whatever, but there's enough to go around. Whether it's money, job opportunities, acting opportunities, we just got to realize nobody's going to take what belongs to you. You know, if it belongs to you, you're going to get it.
You're going to get it, yep. Most definitely. Yeah. Great message to end it on. And I just want to say thank you again. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm beyond proud of you. I'm beyond proud of you. I'm beyond excited for the future of your career. I know you're going to do great things. And you're just going to go far, man. And I just can't wait to see what you're going to be. And I'm just hyped. So I'm just really...
I appreciate it so much, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stay in contact with you. I hope to have you on next time when you're in like a big, better movie. And I can't, better, but like a big, massive movie.
I got you.
Yeah. So I really can't wait to have you back on. And you're welcome back anytime, man. I would love to do this again.
Thank you so much, man. Anytime, man.
Absolutely. All right. Have an amazing day, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Lorenzo. Y'all go follow him. His new film about the Houston riots of 1917. Y'all go check that out on. That's on the video on demand, right?
Yeah, video on demand. It's called The 24th. It's on Amazon. It's on YouTube. It's on Google Movies and Vudu and some cable providers also. So it's a lot of places. Yeah.
Y'all better go check that out before I come get you. Go check that out, man. All right. Peace out, man. Have a good one. Stay safe. All right.